And we're back once more with some more Fall of Magic. Whose turn was it?
It was my
Andrews. Okay,
or
wait, yeah,
It's
Catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah, because
yeah, I get a turn.
Catalyst had a lot to say in my one, but
Someone flip a coin for me.
Roll a D2.
roll a d2.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. That makes sense. Okay. We're going to the Palace of Silver. Shortly after the discussion with River, the Magus turns back to the ruined city and finds struggling to trail her a small, mostly fallen apart cobbled stone golem that she created years and years and years ago. She scoops up the little golem in her hands as though it weighed no more than a pile of feathers to her. And she makes her way to a collapsed tower. As she places her hand against the tower, the rocks and the clay and the sticks that once held it together start to glisten, start to clean themselves and become silver. And the tower begins to erect itself again. It begins to piece itself together. And she takes the first couple of steps inside. Still silent, she walks through the halls of the palace. And she says, "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. What happened to you wasn't supposed to happen at all. I made a mistake and you suffered for it. But before this is all done, I will restore you one way or another. I will piece you back together. And after this is all done, I hope that you will live the life you are supposed to live." And she places him onto this altar and touches his forehead, or its forehead. And the cobblestones begin to reappear. And little Harp begins to grow in size as the cobblestones elongate. His limbs become longer, or its limbs become longer, its torso extends. And it almost looks like about the size of a young child that goes up to about her chest. And she says, "Only a little longer yet." And I'll end the scene there.
All right, friends.
Is it
Are
about to get gloomful, Andrew?
everything to get super weird.
Yeah.
Let's
Real weird.
let's riggedy rock and roll.
Um, and so Yeah, it's
And
like
so it was.
evening, like dusk. It seems to almost be like perpetually dusk here.
Would you call it some kind of weird sky?
There is a weird sky, elf. Yes. Particularly in that there is a glow, like off on the horizon. And at some point in all the wandering through the nameless city, the Magus seems to make up her mind about something and start walking off in this direction of this glow. And as she walks over the hills, she starts to like grow larger at first, but then like weirdly distorted. Like her limbs become these long, willowy, like floaty things and start getting all translucent. And she takes these like really slow, long, sweeping strides across the countryside and quickly outpaces everyone in this like weird, ghostly way that she's walking. And starts to like grow like extra limbs and get like just this like massive weird like blooming of bizarre like translucent
Okay.
stuff.
Reminiscent of the bones that we.
Yes, indeed. And like every now and then she turns and like beckons to the whatever it is that we are.
Assembled party.
Yeah. For us to follow her into this glowing distance. And like the land itself starts distorting and becoming bizarre, and like multiple seasons are happening at once, and the vegetation is all confused and doing all this weird stuff. And there are all these plants you don't recognize and animals you don't recognize. Yeah.
It's all twisted and mixed up, yeah.
Yeah, like that whole idea of like gravity not being the same, and like so like trees are growing with like their roots in the air and like leaves spreading along the ground and all this weird shit. And she like dips over the horizon and goes out of sight into the glow.
Well, okay.
And it's Sean's turn.
Oh shit.
So it is. Huh.
And I love that at this point, it's no longer setting as part of the prompts. It's just like these abstract things.
And they all change you. They all have that leaf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-mm. I think. Huh. I think as they're following along, Caspian turns to River and says, "Why did you leave Stormguard?"
I didn't leave. I was thrown out.
For what?
My father was the lord there before Alana Storm Queen. And I was a threat. Simple as that.
I see.
Why?
I don't know. It's closer now. He nods. He sees your tattoo.
I suppose we'll see what's in my heart by the end of this. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not scared of it anymore. We're too close to it to be scared. You know, when you can see the light at the end of it all, it's kind of relaxing.
Yeah. Do you think you can do it?
Kill the Magus?
You shouldn't have to.
Harp gave me this. I say, like, touching the hilt of the sword above my own. What for if not to use it for something? But maybe I'm supposed to defend her. Who knows? I don't.
Well, strike well when you do. And I think he ends up running off after the Magus.
Mm-hmm.
And like he thinks back to that night they were with the Grey Wardens, and they were like when they were sacrificing that one person.
Mm-hmm. The Rangers.
Yeah. And I think so when like he thinks back to that night and when he saw that happening, and then he sees, like, he has a memory of himself, and he's leaping at one of the, like, this young ranger boy, and he attacks, and he just like tears into him, and the ranger starts screaming, and he has a knife out, and as he does so, like, he ends up slicing at Caspian and cuts right into his forehead, and but I think so Caspian's like bleeding, but he manages to, he just kills the kid, and then the mark, ends up glowing with magic as it does, and you just see like this like panicked look in his eyes in the memory, and then as he's running toward the Magus, like, the mark is now just completely glowing, and I think so. Yeah, he's running after the Magus with like intent, and I think he will go from being the Fox of Mistwood to the Traitor of Mistwood.
Very nice. I think I'm gonna do this one. River doesn't chase after Caspian. She crests the ridge in her own good time, walking towards the source of this light this, this whatever is causing this illumination. And she makes her way to the very edge of the hill where the Magus disappeared from her sight, and looks down at the light there. And we don't see what she's looking at. We just see like the shot from like the point of view of like down below the ledge sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls out the sword that Harp had given to her, the onyx sword. And she stares into this light. You can see it like burning her eyes. And the way that she stands is reminiscent of, any brave warrior of Stormguard, ready to face their death if necessary, in service to someone they swore to protect, someone they swore to travel with, even if that person maybe wasn't entirely truthful, maybe if that person didn't tell her everything. She did come. She did serve. She was here. And she needed to stop Caspian from his path. If only for her own honor. And now I gotta switch a thing on the card. I don't know what I'm gonna change.
You can change your name, your title, or one of your qualities.
I don't have any qualities.
Did you lose beautiful?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I guess I have beautiful, yeah. Well, I've been the fugitive and I've been the heir. Now I'll be the knight. I'll be the knight of Stormguard. I think that's what I'll do.
Okay.
You're up, Catalyst.
I should probably put on my mic first.
That would help, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually good.
Probably. Pull an elf there. It's fine.
Oh,
There we go. So, as the group continues to make their way down this path with the strange trees, the strange landscape, the odd critters that run around, Heart begins to glow. The cobblestones begin to fall off of him at a rapid rate as he approaches the glow. A tendril from the image of the Magus touches him. And as he reaches the crest of the hill, the blue magic that seems to bind this golem takes the form of a adult man. And although it doesn't grow flesh, it does form itself properly into a human. And he walks up beside River and goes, "The blade. You know what that's for, don't you?"
I have to save the Magus.
"You have to save my friend."
I'll do everything I can.
"I will be there with you. For I too was once her apprentice." And he disappears. Leaving nothing but a blue mist around him. And that will switch from Golem to Apprentice of Ravenhall. And that will be my scene.
I like it.
Do we need to choose options from the available like list of
I
options?
think you could probably
No,
pick
I didn't.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we can just do whatever.
I'm just using it as prompt for me. You know?
No, I mean I think it's cool to use the ones as they exist. I'm just curious. Vote.
I have an idea of where I'm going.
Um. Okay. Well, allow me to just massively derail then your whole stuff here.
Do it. I
So-
love that shit.
Andrew,
The
the
Magus is doing
derailer.
this whole like weird ascension style thing where they're like floating around in this glow. And then like through this like weird misty like glowy fog, little black shapes start appearing in the air and like landing on or swooping at the Magus, and this like swarm of rooks and crows and ravens starts like, you know, harrying her as she's floating there, all like ephemeral and weird, and these little like solid finite sharp points of blackness start like flitting in and attaching themselves to her, and like she starts like orbiting all weird and like spinning and kind of like wobbling a bit in the air. And Fawn like walks up to her, taking these long strides. And she started to do a little bit of the same kind of deal of like getting all wispy and weird, and like her limbs are all like extra long.
Yeah, the magic affecting her some way.
Yeah, I think she has like extra sets of arms folding out from under her robes and stuff.
Oh
now.
shit.
And her hair is all like floating, and is glowing, all is like more silvery, like metallically silver. And she walks up to the Magus and she's like beckoning. She still looks like an old woman though, and she's doing this like old lady like hustle over and just being like, "Hey, no, this isn't what we talked about. You said it would be me that was to ascend." And she's like giving the Magus this like angry pep talk. Just like, "It was my turn. That's what you said. I waited so long I waited for you to be done. You've had your fun. It's me now. Give it to me." And she's like reaching with her like 6 arms up at the Magus, like clawing at her, like this like last little wisps of her that are like drifting away, and all the birds are like squawking, and there's all this like loud noise now. And she starts like pulling her down and like tearing at her. And yeah, that's why I serve the Magus. I serve the Magus for myself
Selfish.
because I'm the fucking Magus now. So that's me. I'm Fawn, the fucking Magus. That's my change.
The title of the fucking Magus.
Yeah, I'm the Magus. Yeah, and she's just like, it was to be me, and she's like clawing her and just starts like ripping the Magus apart in the glow.
Oh shit.
So yeah, that's me, Fawn, the Magus.
Oh fuck!
And maybe now you'll want to kill the Magus. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe not though.
All right. Well, yes, that certainly changed things. Where do I want to go?
What is the plan, Sean?
I don't know what the plan is anymore.
What are you gonna do? Andrew the Great Derailer has derailed the plan.
Yes.
I thought it was all, buttoned up.
Listen, I can still make this freaking great for me. I have a good plan.
All right.
I may have to like roll some dice to determine some things against other people, just arbitrarily. Yeah.
I'm sure we can come to an agreement.
We're gonna hack Fall of Magic.
Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, take a level 3.
Level 3 harm.
Yeah, so I think that after Fawn like reaches up, we just hear Caspian like snarl out, "You witch!" And he leaps up onto her. And
Onto me?
yeah, onto you.
Fawn? Okay.
Yeah, Fawn. And like just snarling and as I am fierce.
Yeah, and has he changed at all by being in the glow?
I
Or is he
don't.
still like a little fox?
I think he's still a fox. Yeah, he's just a fox.
That like static thing in a place of shifting magic. Interesting.
Yeah. So he like he bites into like something resembling a leg.
Yeah, and she's like swatting at you with a couple of her hands, and like a bunch of crows are like, doing that dive bombing thing and like squawking at you, and there's all these feathers everywhere.
Yeah, and I think just like his fur and skin's getting ripped as he does so, and he's trying his best to hang on, and basically as we get this image of like he thinks back as he's biting into her leg, we see back at Ravenhall when he like he killed the snake, and like the young boy being afraid and his mother seizing him away and like holding him in her arms, and then like we get this flashback of him with Elamura when he was young again, and just like her holding him in her arms, and I think he tries to hold on, but he just can't, and he ends up like getting flung off, and he ends up tumbling some distance to the ground, and like there's like tears in his eyes, and he's like trying to stand and having a hard time of it as I guess River is coming up. And he's like, I couldn't do it. And he goes from fierce to afraid. And he looks at River, and he says, I don't want to die.
She like is stepping past you
Mm-hmm.
as she sort of like nods to you. like sword in hand, moving towards the Magus and the Magus.
The Magi.
The Magi, indeed.
The Magoxen.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, sure.
Is that how that works? Yeah. All right, so I guess it's my turn, right?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck.
The funny thing is, at this point, you can just be like,
Finn.
"It's over."
Yeah, I feel like I want to try and see what I can do here. I don't think I
Just-
win necessarily.
But just fair warning to everyone that's totally
Now
off
the
table
option.
at this point, right? Because we've all had a turn.
It's,
Yeah.
it's totally a thing. Any of us at this point could just be like, and it's done.
Yeah, I could have
Yeah.
ended it right there.
I have a quick question about the end, though.
Of course.
Are there any rules governing how the end works?
There's not. I was looking when just after we came off for break.
So then let's all form an agreement here as civil and like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
How do we envision that end thing going down? Do we want to do like one person just does the epilogue, like the person who moves the Magus the last time? Or do we want to do like it's over and then we each do like a little epilogue?
And like,
for our
how do you
characters?
think that goes? Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say that the person who moves it does the epilogue.
Yeah, and that it would continue in the format of like being from the Magus's perspective on that.
That's a good. Yeah, no, that's a good.
That
I think
makes
that works for me.
that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
There we go.
If it gets back to Andrew, it's just like I won.
I'm not going to do that.
I know.
I'm
River
more fun than that.
River steps past Caspian's like prone form or what have you. And you can see the magic is changing her, you know, in the same way that it changed the others. There's weird sort of ephemeral things happening. You see like shifting patterns of like translucent strangeness or tendrils off of her shoulders and like behind her. She doesn't sort of grow any extra appendages or any of that sort of thing, but it's very sort of like she's stepping through ghosts, you know, like there's like this sort of
so weird.
yeah, aren't they just and so forth. We're getting an update from the person who wrote this that there are end of session rules, Sean.
Oh.
What have you not read that you need to read? Just saying.
Call last round, roll the scroll, reflect, and future sessions. That's all I'm seeing. I mean, that's what we did last time. I'm just kind of like, help me out, Ross.
You're muted.
Yeah, come on, Ross.
You're muted, Andrew.
Oh, just saying that we like talk it out at the end.
Okay, yeah.
presumably.
Well, we can do that.
But
I'm gonna keep going though.
yeah, I mean, by all means,
so-
continue.
Yeah, an epilogue for your character is one of the options.
So there's a bunch of sort of like this sort of like wisp coming off of her, especially around the like black sword that she has in her hand. Some of that blue glow that like came off of Harp, like sort of surrounding a little bit that blade, whether residual or not. I mean, that's up to Harp to describe that. But she comes towards you, Fawn, and stands in front of you with the sword sort of down and says, "So you're the Magus now. Is that how this is?"
And yeah, with like a bunch of her arms still like holding the the other Magus, like tethering her to the earth. She like turns and looks at you, and her eyes are all like glowing, and her hair's all wispy and floating.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that like smoke ghost wisp like coming out of her eyes, basically, like leaking out of.
And she just says, "That was the agreement. Thousands of years ago, we made it."
I think you were right. I think this needs to die. It needs to be over. You told me those things. You said all of that out of selfishness, out of a desire to claim this power for yourself, to claim it for your own.
Power. Do you think the Magus was happy carrying it? Did she look powerful to you? Did she rule this world? No. It's a burden
Then
that you aren't fit to carry. I wanted to share it those thousands of years ago. Power best kept in threes. A coven. But she insisted. And so here we are. This is her mistake, not mine. But it's not too late. A maiden, a crone, and this one, and there's like this little like shake of the Magus and like pulling her down. She might still learn some humility and work with others.
you're
You might learn something.
saying what and it's like she's conflicted. You can see like there's like the close up of like the hand around the sword sort of like tightening and like the kind of yeah
The whole like, do I use it? Do I drop it?
yeah, exactly, like what do I do, like conflictedness.
And she reaches out a hand to you. This like ephemeral, glowing, like weird long arm hand comes down.
Is this why she brought me here?
This is why I brought you here. And I mean, surely at this moment, the key goes into the
Yeah.
pen.
Yeah.
100%. Like there's that moment where she's about to do something and then you hear this like echoing like click, sort of sound like a grand lock opening, and she drops the sword and it clatters to the ground with this like again this just like echoing noise like it's being amplified by all this like weird magic. And she reaches her hand forward to like touch this ghostly like limb or whatever that you stuck out to her, and she grasps it in her own. And
Yeah. And Fawn looks down at Harp, the ghost of Harp. What's the ghost of Harp doing?
So the Ghost of Harp kind of rematerializes without the others noticing. Like Fawn's the first person to notice.
Yeah, like one of her three eyes just like pivots over.
yeah, just,
And you see an old friend. Someone who was there thousands and thousands of years ago. And he's just shaking his head and goes, "This isn't what we agreed on. Do not fill the truth seeker's mind with lies. She should be making her own decision. She alone will reset the clock." Is that not why I'm here? Is that not why we're all here? Because all things must come to an end, dear Fawn.
And yeah, she just looks at River All eyes are on River at this point, I imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my hand in yours, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the bargain has been struck. If you decide that you want to be like, tricked you, you know what I mean? Like, and just like give me some magic, you know, through this touch. Like, that's the thing you could do, I think, at this point. I have an idea for what I'll do if you do that. In terms of like, if this turns out to be like, oh, the group of three, like, kind of thing, I kind of get where you're going, like, with that, the idea of, like, you know, that whole thing. But I also have a great idea for, like, you were an idiot, you know, and I played you, basically.
Duck. I'm the Magus. No, Fawn is being legit. So yeah, you get the power, man. You get the Magus vibes. We're
Such
Tri-Magus.
such Magus vibes.
The only thing which is a question to me, and I'll leave here's the real decision, and you can make it because it's your turn. The real thing in my mind is, do we keep this busted ass old Magus, or do we just replace her with someone else in our little trifecta? Like, it could be
Or does magic end finally?
I mean, that's the question. Like, that's the thing.
because maybe the third person is a fox, maybe the third person is this ghostly apprentice friend. You know, it doesn't have to be the previous Magus. So I don't know, it's up to you.
You've been voted off the Magus. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think the previous Magus is destroyed. Like, as soon as we are, like, joined in this agreement, there's sort of, like, that power that flows through both of us with you connected to her that is, like, your resentment for the fact that she screwed with you all these years and, like, stole all the power, basically, and did her own thing. And joined with River's sort of, like, newly awakened, like, magical channeling. It's like a tidal force, you know, like undammed, unstoppered for the first time, like electric current through you, you know, to the Magus on the far end, like basically like shredding her, you know, like erasing her from existence, basically, like disintegration.
Yeah, all the like crows and stuff picking her apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Crumbling and disintegrating.
Exactly.
Okay. Charming.
I think that's got to be my scene though. Like,
Yeah. So what
somebody
changes
else?
about you?
What changes about me? I had one for if you screwed with me, but I wasn't expecting you to like hand me.
You're also the Magus
hand me
now.
that. I'm also the Magus. No.
And you're a Magus. And you're.
You get a Magus. You get a Magus.
I think I have to be. How do I do this? Yeah, what do I change? Let me look at the list here. Just to see if I get any.
Face the strange changes.
I had a great one. I had a great one for if you fucked with me because I was expecting you to. Damn it!
River, the David
Andrew's
Bowie.
anything if unpredictable.
I think it's got to be River, the Witch of Stormguard.
Great. Excellent. Become a witch like me. It's a good time.
I think that's it.
All right. I have no idea how to follow that up.
Right?
We can just end, I suppose, and do like
I'm an
an
epilogue. It's up to you, though. We've shredded the Magus, so we need another one for the rule of 3. Just saying.
I know what I'll do. Almost. the last time you saw real magic.
5 seconds ago.
Yep. So the glow ends at this point, and Fawn, River, Caspian, and Harp are all there. The world has returned to normal. And Harp just kind of, he grimaces. And he goes, well, I suppose what is done is done. But there is still this one. And he kind of looks over towards Caspian.
Yes.
A little life and a voice is all you wanted in the end.
It seems I got what I wanted.
And it looks like for another several thousand years, that's what you'll have.
If that's to be the case, so be it.
But I don't think that your form is entirely correct. Now, is it?
What do you mean?
Well, look at you. Wouldn't you rather be with the ones you cared about? In a form that doesn't terrify everyone? That doesn't upset children when you decide to eat?
He sits there for a moment. And then he looks at the gathering of all of you, I suppose. Keep your magic. I've had my fill. I'll be who I always have been. Myself.
Well, I suppose in another 1,000 years we'll repeat this circle. Try again, little fox.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. And then I think he runs off. He looks at River for a moment. And then he runs off.
Yeah, it looks very much when you do that she wants to say something to you before you sort of bound away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost as if when she goes to say something that like her voice burns, it hurts her. And she
She can't quite do it.
Yeah, she can't call out to you. Because there's still this sort of this burst dam of magic,
Yeah.
and everything that she's trying to do is join to that. At least initially. Yeah.
And yeah, that fox is the last time he ever saw pure magic exist.
Yep.
And that'll end my scene. So, Andrew,
Oh, it's me.
it is.
Well, isn't this fun? I mean, I guess yeah, we could end it. I'm gonna let Sean end it though. Um, so let's go to voices. And so as Caspian is running off, like what's River's emotional state like right now?
She's confused. She's been confused for a long time. She made a decisive choice in like shaking your hand, basically, like, okay, like, let's do it, kind of thing. But now she doesn't know if she made the right choice, but it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, she's like committed to this thing and now is like pondering the implications of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Fawn kind of like drifts back down to earth and like shrinks to a more regular human kind of size, but she still has the like extra arms and all the like weird shit going on. And I think she just we hear like the crows and rooks like cawing in the distance and circling overhead, and they're like wheeling their way in. And she just like hugs River into her chest with these like multiple arms, just like 5 arms hugging you. And she just says, you did the right thing, River. Time will show. And that little fox will be nipping at your heels if you have anything to say to him. He'll be shadowing us for some time, I'm sure.
I do hope that I see him soon.
He has something of mine. Something of yours too now. You can call him when you need him. And she like is like holding you in her arms, and like this as the like last of the glow is fading on her face, and she has this like one of those like serious looks of someone who is like considering some,
Darker, deeper
darker
implication,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, there's kind of this like pseudo semi-ominous kind of look in her eye
I like
as
it.
she's like holding you, like one hand on the back of your head. Yeah. And instead of being the Magus now, or can I change things on other people's sheets?
Yeah, technically you can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then you know what, Mr. Fox, you are the exile of Mistwood.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? Even better. I've got it. You are Caspian, the Thief of Magic.
Ooh.
That's what you are. That's your cool new title. Because it kind of, to me, sounds like basically Fawn and River have just been like, cool, magic? Yeah, we'll just take all of that. We'll just collect all of that here. It's just like contained, and like the glow goes away. Like everything is all like super mundane.
Mm-hmm.
And like the last little bit of magic that isn't
Yeah.
buttoned down is Caspian out there somewhere.
I like it.
Hey,
That's
Sean,
perfect.
it's your turn.
Is that the fin?
I think so. I think I mean I think the closure is pretty good, and all I really want to add is I think we see a scene where we see Caspian like running back through the ruins of the city, and he runs to the shore of Umbra, and he like climbs up this like tower, like this crumbling tower, and
You should totally be in Crow Hall rather than the Nameless City. It's a perfect,
yes, that
full
makes sense.
circle thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's this like ruined inversion of
Sure.
Ravenloft where we started.
I hadn't thought about that. That's perfect. So yeah, he climbs up like one of the parapets of Crow Hall, and you know, he's looking out, and you know, the sea is like churning off in the distance, and you know, the wind blows through and it's whipping at his hair, and you know, he like puts his ears back and he's just kind of looking out at the sea. And I think like just a crow comes and lands beside him. And I think that's just it. Like that's
Yeah, just like cocks its head.
yeah. So yeah.
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah.
Then
We
That was-
played through a whole game of Fall of Magic. This is the first time I've gotten to the end.
It only took us 7 hours.
It only took us 7 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
we're slow. We're descriptive and slow.
yep.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Next time, let's shoot for 2.
Two.
Speed run, Fall of Magic. Check out our hacks on Distracted Elves channel.
Speedrun Fall of Magic. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Yeah.
That went in 7 directions I didn't expect it to go.
It always does, right? Like constantly does.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool when Fawn at the end was just like Princess Mononoke, Spirit of the Forest. Like,
No,
no.
No, it's mine.
I definitely feel the like Miyazaki vibes. from this,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a very high praise of it. But that's always like in my mind. With
Yeah.
all the props and stuff.
Yeah, and I thought like all of the
I
like,
mean,
I thought it
even
all
our
came together
party,
really well.
even our party is like the most Miyazaki
It was
party.
very Miyazaki.
Like,
Yep.
like we had
Yeah,
that
like, you
vibe.
can have a fox or like a
Yeah.
raven, right? Like there can be these like
Little-
animals that
little
come up.
cobblestone golem, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just it was so like whimsical, but with that menace of
but
like
poignant
fawn
and dark.
and yeah, and like exactly.
yeah.
I loved Catalyst. I loved your transition from the golem to the apprentice. I thought that was really fun of like guy who suffered a weird magical mishap like many
Yeah.
centuries ago and has been
Yeah.
kind of
Has
half
been-
present tagging along.
Has been dealing with it, yeah, the whole time.
It's like, man, I just want Madge to end. Just kill me. God. Stop.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think like I kind of felt, and maybe it's just from me playing my character, but it did feel like selfishness ended up becoming like a running theme of
Yeah, totally.
in
Oh,
some
yeah.
ways.
I feel like I mean I agree with that, but I feel like I didn't have like a unique position. I just had the position that was like the normal thing in between all the not normal things. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
um,
character was very much the like anchor for all the weirdness, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and like I don't know. I don't usually do that, right? Like that's not I'm usually one of the far-flung points of weirdness when I can be.
But
Um,
in terms of like Sean's framing of it, this idea of like selfishness being a really big theme, River was the one character who was actually trying to do things for other people
Yeah.
Yeah.
very consistently. I was occasionally trying to be helpful, but in a really like
In a self-serving way, yeah.
yeah, and also that I had my own. Although I didn't have this plan until I was just like, wait a minute, like right at the end, I was like, that would
Yeah,
be a fun
that would be
thing.
great. Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. It's cool. So what's the epilogue look like? You know, like what is
I
that,
mean,
what is that
I
look
think we kind of covered
I think we
it.
cleared
I mean,
it,
yeah. I mean, I don't think that there's anything necessarily of worth to
that
add
we need
to
that.
that.
We need to
Yeah.
clear up, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like a movie ending. You know.
Yeah, totally.
Next
But,
time on Fall of Magic 2.
Yeah.
So,
Well, about that.
Yeah, what would you do for another game? What would you
Well,
do
I
for
s-
Fall of Magic?
I saw a
number 2?
post from Ross Kalman that I actually retweeted. It was on February 18th. I just saw it today.
Oh, really?
There might be some similar, like a sequel on the horizon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Well.
I could see a really fun kind of like inversion of this where it's about like magic being born and it like spreading through the world or all kinds of stuff like that. Like you can this whole like journey thing, there are ways to like thematically like flip Fall of
Yeah.
Magic to this like more like of an upswing of magic kind
Yeah,
of thing.
like the ascendance of magic.
Yeah, exactly. And just like and that would be the most appropriate way to do like a sequel or a follow-up to the game. And of course all it would take is like, I mean, all it would take, but like just a new set of prompts and like a different map with these different places. And
I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's why I like this game so much, is that you really only need an imagination to play it. Like,
Yeah.
and you can be like, follow the prompts. That's all you have to do, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's so cool to me.
yeah, it's really nice that it's GM-less.
I
as
really
well.
like it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really good as well, because not everybody want. You know, there's always that group of players who are like, well, we want to play the game. You know.
Yeah, and I think this like the real important thing is you just have to, kind of be on the level with everybody.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like the rules to resolve conflict or anything.
No, it's very
Yeah,
much
so-
like an interpersonal game, right? Like
Mhm.
it's about
You're good at
agreeing to do
conversation.
cool stuff. Like,
I'm totally looking at this as a thing to do in between games with my Monster Hearts group
Oh, that'd be awesome.
yeah, why not?
because they're all new to gaming and
This would be fantastic.
I've emceed one thing for them and then I just want to be like, hey, remember that one structure where like I'm like the veteran who's in charge or whatever? Like,
Yeah,
let's
fuck
throw
that.
out
Yeah.
the window.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just play this game that's totally
Yeah.
like anarchically evenly distributed, right? Everyone
And if
is-
you're playing it in person, you could just boot it up and roll 20. Like if you don't have the physical
I
copy.
mean,
and
I'm gonna
just-
borrow Adam's physical copy.
Oh,
of it.
nice. Yeah.
Thankfully, I know a guy for that because also yes, playing the physical thing is
It's that's
awesome. But
Now I just gotta drag my close friends, my within distance friends into playing.
yeah,
But yeah, this has been awesome.
Are there any things that like you guys wanted to explore or thought about exploring that we didn't? Like, you had an idea but then it turned the other way and you like thought, well, okay, I'll go this way,
Yeah, I was personally kind of conflicted because I started off like after I guess the Citadel, or the cathedral, the old cathedral. I was like, well, maybe he's cursed to live forever, and that's why he wants to kill the Magus. And so that started to develop. But there were a couple points, and I think like if you go back and watch, it probably becomes clear that like I kind of went between saving or killing the Magus, and somehow that worked out because I think Caspian was just like a very like he was afraid. He was he made a poor decision and he was paying for it, and he didn't know like
Well,
he
and
wasn't a
that's like-
hero.
that's like a real thing that people do as
Yeah.
well. Is like be uncertain about things and exploring that and having the character eventually be forced into a decision once you like complete the journey, right? Like it's perfect for that kind of story, I think.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I had that similar problem, right, where I just like didn't actually know what I was doing or why I was
Mhm.
there, and then when the questions got posed that forced me to answer those things, then decisiveness had to happen,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
I guess the only other big thing was like I would have liked to see more of River and the Stormguard connection and like what was up with
Oh,
that.
because we
I
went, we went to,
Skip
yeah,
Stormguard.
yeah, we went the other
So-
way. If we'd gone to Stormguard, I would have delved into it more.
Mhm.
But
that makes sense.
I figured
Yeah,
because we skipped Stormguard, there was no reason to like talk about her past necessarily,
that's fair.
based upon that.
Also, if we had gone to Stormguard, then we would have had the whole Mistwood angle.
Yeah,
We'd
things
be
have been
saying the same thing about Mistwood, right?
Yeah.
True.
Um,
I was trying to play a character who had like a very particular agenda and like spend time trying to convince the other characters of Steph, which was very different for me. But it was quite fun to just like come in with a really strong opinion and just like throw that around and bounce that off the other characters.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think it really helped. It really helped me at least solidified like sort of my idea of who I was playing, because you'd throw these things at me and I'd be like, "Do I agree with that? I'm not sure." And like there were times where I was like mad at you, or times where I agreed with you, and so forth. And that's kind of great. I love it.
yeah, it was a bit of me putting my like GM hat on and doing the whole like pushing characters on their beliefs, but
And
you
and
had to do it through one character,
And
right?
the thing is, like, in the end, when we agreed, like, yes, let's split magic this way, like, I still think River was having doubts, like, I still think it
Yeah.
was, I still think it was one of those moments where it was like, I'm gonna regret this. Boom, and we'll see. If you had screwed me over, I would have had her, like, transmuted into I would have had her, like,
What would that whole trajectory have been? I'm really curious.
If you had
Alternate
like
timeline.
if you had just been like, yes, let's make a deal, ha, like, now I'm touching you and magic, like, because you can do that in the glow, like, or whatever. I would have just transmuted her into into a raven in Ravenhall.
Oh, like I just turn you into a crow?
Yeah, and then River would have been one of those crows.
See, Elf, this is why I love playing games with you, because you'll just like embrace oblivion like that.
Yeah.
Just things that a lot of people wouldn't do, right? But you're just like,
Yeah.
that's how it's going. And you just like,
Yeah,
well,
like River would just become one of that flock, and what that does is it calls into question the entire flock.
where do these birds come from?
Yeah.
By the by.
Ah.
And they were just me pinging off of the whole like Ravenhall Crowhall thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, ooh, maybe magic is really sinister at that point. Like maybe
Yeah.
it's built on lies and the tears of people. Maybe there's lots of sadness behind magic.
And yes, I do embrace oblivion. You're right. I do.
Yeah, I didn't have that whole like connection to Fawn at the beginning. Like that wasn't in my mind, or even like the Magus connection. It was just like, okay, maybe he's cursed and he thinks the ending magic will somehow, let him die. But then when like Fawn consistently kept ignoring me, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. It's like, why is that? And then we had that moment where they got to like sit down and have a conversation where neither of them really talked to one another.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, that
I had
was
lots
kind
of fun doing that. Yeah, I mean, this game is great for just like floating stuff out there and just like having it mean something later, right?
Yeah.
Because we all collectively
Like a small line here and there like creates this narrative that like all pulls together eventually. It's kind of nice. I wonder what it would be like with different groups, certainly, but I feel like this group is like a solid bunch of people who all know how to play nice together and like make a cool game happen,
Yeah.
Which I think you need to do it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the two of you that do LARP stuff must like
this is our fucking
more
live.
like-
Yeah.
exactly, right? Like the
Improvi-
open-endedness of it is very much in line with that kind of game.
Improvising shit. When I shook your hand, I was having my carrot flashbacks to my LARP character, making bad deals and regretting decisions and having to move forward anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that was cool.
But yeah,
That
it was a cool time. Thank you all for joining me for it, and thank you.
Yeah.
those of you
So we're
who
not
are
going anywhere.
listening.
Next week, I guess we're back
Yeah,
with.
we
some
will
blades.
we will indeed be back with some.
Do we want to talk about that briefly,
Yeah,
or do we want
let's
to just leave it?
No, let's talk about that. So
Give
we're
people fair warning.
We're
Remember,
gonna be-
I'm here, Elf, this time, please.
What? I don't know. Anyway, so
Traitors, usurpers.
we are gonna have some Blades in the Dark next week. We're moving into season 2, so to speak, quote unquote, of our Blades in the Dark game.
Serie 2.
Serie 2, indeed. And Andrew is gonna be our GM for season 2.
The thief of GMing. No,
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 I
it's-
asked, you asked nicely, / I
I-
asked nicely.
yeah.
It was the most polite changing of the guard ever.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. So
Yeah, so Hyena's gonna be joining us on the player side of the table, and
I got a cool
Andrew
character.
and Andrew is gonna fuck us over real hard.
Yeah, no, Andrew's a
Uh,
meanie.
I'm excited.
And this is just the friendly reminder to everyone that like, just because you start out as the GM, you can turn into a player. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're all players in the game.
we are
Um,
all players in the game.
And I
That
think the
sounds like-
season is a perfect time to.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
So that works out
that's
nicely.
that sounds like some sweet life advice there. We're all players. We're all players
Yep.
in the game, even the GMs.
In the game of life.
But yeah, so Andrew's gonna be our GM for the next Blades in the Dark stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what horrors manifest from that.
I mean, also, I assume the crew is going to turn into Bravos. At
Yes,
this point.
yes. We've
Yeah.
decided we're switching the crew from Shadows to Bravos because it just
Which of
makes-
course means we will only ever do infiltration missions
yeah.
that go extremely
It'll just
well.
be like social connections and yeah, whatever.
And
Anyway,
and no, actually, Hyena already has a character.
I
set.
will walk through some of the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, we'll do an introduction and stuff, and introduce Hyena's character, but the character already exists.
Yeah.
I've seen details, and I'm hyped.
Alpha's
Yeah,
seen
I
some
made
shit.
him a couple days ago.
Alpha's seen some shit. But yeah, so cool. We'll end a little bit early today because there's nothing
we're
else to
at an end
there's
point.
nothing else to say. But thank you all, and Fall of Magic was awesome. And
It was.
I have a thing.
Ross, if you're still in chat, you're great. You made a great game.
We love you.
Stopping by.
Yeah, nice to hear from you.
If you're watching
Um,
this on YouTube later, someone tell Ross.
Could
Anyway.
you tell Ross?
Later, guys. We will see you. We'll see you. Oh wait, we gotta do shout outs.
Oh,
I almost like threw you guys offline without
Go ahead.
Go.
Plug
Telling
myself,
everybody.
Elf.
telling everybody who you are. All right, you go first, Andrew. Tell
All right,
everybody
commence
who you
shameless
are.
plug in 3, 2. I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at Comedian Crow, and my Twitter profile has all my other internets associated with it. Important things about me: I'm in this show. I'm in shows on Thursday and Friday, both on Roll20 and on Misclicks. And on Friday afternoons, I design a magical girl anime role-playing game. So you can watch me do that live on Twitch at twitch.tv/actualfactual.
You good? You good there? Okay. All right. We'll call that a plug. Sean, you want to go next?
Yeah, hi, I'm Catalyst 7. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Damn you! Thief of names!
Servers.
Yeah.
You surfers.
I'm Sean, aka Hyena Spots with a Z. You can find me on Twitter at Hyena Spots, and you may see me around. I'm working on some stuff. I'm getting closer. I'm putting some footwork in, and hopefully I'll have some.
Putting some screws to some people.
Yes, hopefully I'll have some things going on. It won't be much because I am very busy otherwise, but I'm gonna get out there a little bit, do some things. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out. Follow my Twitter, you'll find out.
Catalyst.
I guess I have to do this, yeah. So I'm Catalyst7. You can find me on Twitter at Catalyst7. And I essentially just post about life stuff, things going on in work, LARP stuff, and really whatever's on my mind. So
He's a cool dude. You
Robots.
should follow him. Do that.
Don't forget the cool robot.
Robots.
and robots. That one exploded. It's fine.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Rip robot.
Hi, I'm me. You can follow me here. It's cool. If you don't already, it's the buttons right below. It takes literally zero effort. You can just actually, I think it's above now. I don't know where it is.
1 calorie.
It's above.
Wherever the fuck it is.
You live
Click.
here, Elf. You should know this.
Click the button. They move shit around all the time.
It's like directly above me, I think.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.